Hi friends, welcome to the official CCL halftime show, name continuously pending, presented by Roll20. I'm Gilly here with my friend Lutano, ranged player for Simplicity. Hey Lutano, how's it going? It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute, as they say. I'm happy to be here, though.
Happy to have you. How are things going? How's the dynamic been with the new team?
It's actually been a bit slow because we actually had two vacations. Whit had his vacation 2 weeks ago, and I had been gone for like a week, right? That's why I didn't play last weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been slow. We're just now actually starting our scrims, like as a team, as a full roster. So it's exciting to see how we're going to progress.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. So obviously, it's been a little while since I've gotten to catch up with you. What have you been up to between HGC and CCL?
So I grinded the league for quite a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
I got like top 20 on ladder. I was like on a top AM team, and I was like, I'm not feeling it anymore. Like I just wasn't enjoying playing the game anymore. And I'm like, you know what game I really enjoy? Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
So I came back, and I've been loving it.
Awesome. When did you start back up? Around what time?
What, like 3-4 months ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. Kind of when everyone was coming back, like kind of the resurgence of HUTs, as I like to call it.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of coming back, and I was excited to play some Storm League with the boys, and we've just been going from there,
Yeah. What have you noticed has been kind of the big difference between playing back in the HGC days and then now playing in the CCL time?
I think people aren't playing as like heavy like as they used to. I mean, people used to play 8-10 hours a day, and that's just not feasible for a lot of people nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially for like scrims, it's mostly like maybe 2-2-hour blocks a day. When it's before, it's like 2-3-hour blocks a day. So
Yeah.
it's not as intense as it used to be, which is nice in its own way. You can stream a little bit more. You can hang out with the boys a little bit more. It's always nice.
Play some Among Us. I keep just asking people who's playing Among Us. I think I just want to get in on an Among Us game is what I'm realizing.
We should just run a CCL at Among Us.
Yes. Yeah, that'll be in the off season, I think, for sure. I gotta work on that.
That'd be a good time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you talked about it a little bit last weekend. Unfortunately, you guys did start off the season with a loss. I think it was 1-3 versus the Sidestep Kings. And you weren't there. You were on vacation or taking some time off. What was the team's kind of approach to that match, and what have some of the takeaways been since then?
So I wasn't there a lot of the time. I told the team like 2 months in before I even drafted. I talked to orgs, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be gone for this amount of time, and you guys are gonna have to like play without me for week 1." And the team took it well. The team was like, "Hey, we're just gonna grind as we always do. We're gonna play with Noah, play scrims with him, see how it goes." And it's unfortunate we lost, but I'm so proud of the team how they performed. It's always tough because I'm one of the main shot callers along with Kier. So
yeah. And
I shot call draft, and I mean they did what they could. I came in a little bit and gave a little bit of insight in draft after vacation. But we unfortunately lost. It's all right. We'll bounce back. We'll make it a nice 6-1 season. So. Yeah,
you got to start somewhere, right? Set a baseline that's not crazy that you're trying to live up to. Makes sense for sure. That said, are you looking forward to getting back into things?
Absolutely, I'm so pumped. I mean, I love competition. I always have, and CCL is a really nice way to get that competitive outlet.
Nice. Well, we're excited to get to see you play. We'll talk about that match in a little bit. But first, I wanted to kind of talk to you about the dynamic of the team, because obviously you've got a bunch of NA players and Whit. So how does Whit fit into the combo, and what do you see as Whit strengths bringing to the squad?
What's actually a really nice insight into the EU meta, how they like to play, what their players do, like how they like to shot call, what their drafts are like, and he gives us a lot of good insight that we really needed because we're all NA boys, Team composition wise, we've kind of been working on filling the hole of the Zugrug hole. Zugrug is shaped a new Barak hole, that Wit's been filling more or less. And he's been doing really well. We called him Zugrug Light because we just love Zugrug, and we love Wit too, and he's working out really well for us.
Yeah, Zugrug has actually competed in like some of the TFT stuff that Wisdom has done, which is like, oh my gosh, it was nice to see a familiar name as well as Crowan and the like. So that's cool. I think it's really fun that like so many of Freedom has like assembled back together. You, Cure, and Collusion. Though you and Cure didn't play on the roster at the same time, right?
We actually we're playing. Well, I guess this is a leak, roster leaks, preseason roster leaks. But yeah, me and Kira were gonna be on the same team in the next season of HGC. So we were actually scrimming before HGC got canceled, and we were really vibing well together. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, I'm glad now that we get to see that in fruition. Since we never got to before, I'm stoked. Where do you see, Simplicity's big strengths as a team, as a roster come in once you guys have had that time to gel together?
I think everyone likes the joke that our team in the past only knew how to play macro, But I think with Kira on the roster and me back to grinding a bit, and with Hosty, who's also insanely mechanically skilled, we actually can surprise people with some really strong team fight compositions, and I doubt they'll be ready for it.
Awesome. That sounds pretty great. What do you have? Did you get a chance to watch, the rest of the matches, and do you have some thoughts on, where you think maybe the teams to beat or a power ranking currently is with all the teams?
In terms of power rankings, I think the top 4 or 5 is kind of outlined right now. Mm-hmm. I guess it's kind of a toss-up a bit, actually. I think we're actually relatively weak right now. We need a bit of time to mesh together because the other teams have been scrimming for a couple weeks, and we haven't been, because we've had players on vacation. We haven't been able to really grind the games out, get the practice in that we need. Mm-hmm. I think actually Oxygen is looking way stronger than a lot of people expected them to be.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to be a big team to beat. And you kind of saw it last weekend with Oxygen against Chili Mountain, who we're about to play. Mm-hmm. And they kind of bodied them. I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty clean. And yeah, I think Oxygen is actually really strong right now, and I'm excited to see how they progress.
Yeah, same. I'm really excited to see how all the teams progress, and I think that's one really nice thing about the format heading into playoffs is, even for you guys who maybe are starting a little bit behind, as you would say, with practice, with that ladder format, it really could be anyone making it into the end. So yeah, I'm excited to see how everyone progresses. And speaking of Chili Mountain, obviously that's who you guys are playing this weekend. So what are your thoughts on them as a team and how you think that matchup will go?
I think they have a lot of time to develop as a team. I think they're not the strongest right now. I think CPX is really green. He needs a lot more matches under his belt to really start filling the carry role that his team needs.
Yeah.
I think Fury is always a solid core for any team, and Dark is strong as well with him. And Maka a very strong EU drafter shot caller. So I think they have the recipe. They have what they need to be a successful team. They just need more practice.
Right. Well, Lutano, I've got one last question before I let you give some shout-outs, and that is, what does it mean to you, as a competitor, as a former HGC player, what does it mean to you to be here in CCL?
I think the biggest thing is I never got to be number 1, in NA. This was my season was coming up. I was ready to pop off, and I think this is the real time to prove that we could have been the best, and we will be the best, and I'm excited to show that and prove it. Nice.
The season of Lutano, the season of Simplicity. I like it. All right, the floor is yours, friend, for any shout-outs you'd like to give.
Shout out to my team. Shout out to all the boys. Shout out to Wit. He's working hard to integrate with us. I know it's difficult. We have a very strange style for the most part. And shout out to Simplicity for drafting a lot of the boys together. And I mean, it's exciting, and we're excited to see how far we can go. And shout out to my stream, twitch.tv/Lutano. Check it out whenever you get the chance, and appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you all. That's it for the CCL halftime show. Thanks for watching, and thank you, Lutano, for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Gillen.